Hey everyone. This week I would like to talk to you about how to run the numbers so you can buy your first investment property. Have you ever thought about this before? Real estate is such a great investment because of its low risk and high returns. I mean, there's a reason why the richest people in the world are constantly investing in real estate, right? Property typically appreciates in value, which means a pretty nice ROI for you. But if this is your first time buying an investment property, there are some things you have to get straight, like your numbers. Get your calculator out today because we're going to run the numbers. So first things first, you have to know your income and your expenses. Get really comfortable with these numbers because you're going to be working with them a lot. Next, you take a look at your savings account balance and you have to run like a down payment. So to save up to buy an investment property, you cannot just go in without any money, right? So most banks require at least 20 to 30% of the purchase price for a down payment. So they often also require that you have at least 3 months of the expenses covered. And you'll want savings left over for emergencies and unexpected costs. We all know that there's unexpected costs in our current state of the market, right? With everything happening with COVID, and you just never know what's going to come up. So you want to make sure that you have your expenses covered. If your savings account is up to task, it's time to find out how much you can make from your investment property. The strategies I'm about to share with you are suitable for rental properties, but you can use the same idea for any type of real estate investment. When you're looking at rental properties or vacation properties, you'll want to get an idea of how much you can rent the property out for. This is where the 1% rule comes in handy. You should be able to make your mortgage payments if you rent your property for 1% of the purchase price. So that means if you buy a property for $150,000, I know, laugh, and rent it out for $1,500, you should be able to cover your mortgage payment. If you can rent for more, awesome, but you don't want to go lower than 1%. So now let's get to the fun stuff like profit, right? Everyone likes profit. To determine the probability of a potential rental property, you can do a simple ROI calculation. So save this for future reference. Take the amount you want to rent for, let's use our earlier example, $1,500, and subtract the mortgage payment and property expenses. Let's say $1,000 a month. Your ROI or profit would be $500, right? Pretty good. That's a profit of $6,000, roughly each year. And you might be thinking that is $6,000 worth it? It's not really worth the hassle. But don't forget that when you sell the property, you'll get all your money your tenants have paid in the mortgage right back in your pocket. So it's basically free money at that point, right? So let's get back to the calculations. So the last one is super helpful when you're deciding if a property is worth the investment. When it comes to return on investment, you want to make at least 15%. That means that the profit you make after mortgage payments and other expenses needs to be at least 15% more than the money you invest in the property. So that means that if you put $20,000 down on a property and do $5,000 in updates, that means your cash out was $25,000, right? So to get a 15% return on investment, you'll have to make $3,750 in profit from your rent annually. And of course, the higher the better, so if you can get higher than that, but you want to try to aim for at least 20% for a great investment. Once you run those calculations, you'll have a good idea of what you can make for any given investment property. And your agent, right here, will help you give you more ways to analyze properties. So when you're ready to make your first one, reach out to Two Chicks. If you have any questions about investment properties or where to get started with real estate, send us a message and we will help you out. And if you have any more questions, just let me know. Until next week, goodbye.